Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Friday, July 26, 2024. Is it me or is this whole year going incredibly fast? I cannot believe we're already towards the end of July, getting very close to my birthday, where I now count years not in double-digit numbers, but as the first number being 4 and then 0.5. So therefore, I never age. By the time I get 100, I'm only going to be 10 years old. So how's that? That's how I handle aging. I think it's a good idea because then it keeps the kid at heart inside you, you know? So that's my little tip for any of you guys worried about getting older. Just have a little bit of that childlike wonder like I do with meteorology, and you always stay forever young. Or at least drive my wife insane, whichever. So let's talk about the tropics here. It's quiet for now. We have been talking for quite some time about, well, the Atlantic is very warm, and anything that's going to tap into all this warm water, well, it's going to rock and roll and get very impressive, and there's a high chance of above normal season. But July has been very quiet, and it has made some question whether or not we actually see an above normal season. Now, here's my warning for everyone. In this type of environment, with a La Nina type pattern trying to develop, these storms could come in bunches in a very, very quick period of time. That doesn't mean you're going to have all these long track tropical systems, but you'll start to get a couple popping off around, let's say, the Gulf of Mexico or off the East Coast here around the Bahamas that last for a couple of days, and those start to add up, and before you know it, by the time you get to the end of October, you end up with an above normal season. So I still expect that. Historic? Probably not, but it doesn't, you don't need to have a historic season to have a major impact. You just need one. So again, we're going to be keeping an eye on it. Right now, not much going on. We are keeping an eye on this little disturbance out here, as some of the model guidance is hinting that something could be popping right around the Bahamas, right around August 2nd or 3rd, somewhere around there, that we'll have to watch out for the southeast coast. But as always with these type of warm core systems, you don't want to jump the gun until the low actually forms before you start making any declarations about intensity, impacts, track, all that stuff. One thing I will say is that based on the model guidance, this is the GFS ensemble guidance. You could also use the European or the European ensembles or the straight GFS, whichever you like. You could see very clearly more support for lifting over the Atlantic and around the eastern zones here and into Africa. What this would support in this scenario is increased lifting in the atmosphere to support more tropical development. Now, it's not a slam dunk, but at the very least, we're moving into a more favorable environment through August, and it's something that we're going to watch very carefully. See this right here? That means substance. That's what's been in control throughout much of this month, and that's why it has been so quiet. So we're kind of flipping the script here. We'll see what happens as a result. So that's why we're looking at this and saying, this could be a bit of a problem. What's not a problem is the weather setting up for today on through this weekend. We have high pressure in control. Look at those dew points. That's right, mid to upper 50s for most of the region. Only place where we have 60s is down towards southern New Jersey, Wildwood. Other than that, if you go outside, it's going to feel incredibly refreshing out there. Very pleasant, very nice. Clearing out some of those muggy conditions and just uncomfortable conditions. No, this weekend is going to feel comfortable. Now, it's still going to be summer-like. We're talking about highs in the 80s and a few lower 90s here and there, but it's not going to feel oppressive at all. When you sweat, it actually will feel cooler. So that is certainly something that is great to hear. Now, with this setup here, you can see the humidity here dropping off. And you can see on our radar and surface map, high pressure and control. So excellent weather conditions. Again, just so we can really enjoy this. Look at that humidity. When you get into this level, that's below 56 degrees in terms of the dew points. That is really, really nice weather out there. Take it in, enjoy it. It's beautiful. Enjoy it while you can. I want to start off with the visible satellite picture. You see this little haze here? Yeah, that's a little bit of smoke from Canada. Not as bad as the gift that they gave us last year, but still there might be a little bit of haziness. If you are very sensitive with allergies, it might start to mess with your allergies a little bit. And of course, it's going to make for beautiful sunrises and sunsets. But there is a little bit of that haze that you can see very, very lightly here from the smoke in Canada that actually dropped through the upper Midwest and is heading towards our neck of the woods. But other than that, you can see pretty nice conditions. Now you see this feature right here. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the infrared satellite picture. That is our jet stream. So what's happening is that we have a trough in the polar jet stream, Western Atlantic ridge in the subtropical jet stream. So it kind of runs into a block here. And the trough is slowly pushing south. And so what we have here is that upper level component, that upper level wind jet streak here. And that's also what is transporting some of that smoke into our neck of the woods as well. On the water vapor satellite picture shows up even more nicely. This is why I love using the satellite picture, because you can see the trough here, right? And then it kind of bends down. So this is a positively tilted trough. Here's your ridge, right? Your ridge is more concentrated here, extension out here. You can see the southwesterly flow aloft, and the northwesterly winds trying to work their way in. Here comes our trough with the subsidence taking hold, setting up a beautiful weekend. But then it also sets up an unsettled weather pattern for next week. You see, what we have here is with this trough dropping in, it kind of gets stuck. And the base of it is going to kind of get stuck off the coast here. And that's going to spawn the potential for a closed off upper level low. Now, I'm not expecting this to be a strong upper level low, but it is going to be a bit of a pest setting up for Monday. You can start to see that signal taking shape right here. So here is your upper level trough here. Here's your ridge. And you can see one piece is getting broken off and heading down towards the desert southwest. And then you got this feature here and then the primary trough back here. So you have this portion lifted up towards the Canadian Maritimes. Our Western Atlantic ridge is a bit convoluted, but you kind of get the idea here with the influence here. You have all sorts of little upper level features in between here. Upper level lows and ridges that are creating this weather pattern of slow moving, annoying low pressure systems. Now, we dealt with it most of this week with that stationary front, where some locations got some nice bursts of rain and other locations were screaming, stop it being cloudy and not raining. At the very least, have some sun, right? So it's been a bit of an annoyance. Now, what's happening here is that even though it's going to be beautiful this weekend, this feature is going to drop down here, kind of fester about, and form this upper level low. And that's going to send moisture back into the northern mid-Atlantic and set up for some showers. And some of those showers may be heavy at times, looking at the immediate Jersey Shore here on Monday. And so that is essentially what we're seeing here with our upper level pattern. There is our trough. Now watch the base of the trough move from the eastern Great Lakes towards the mid-Atlantic coast. Okay, this is going to set up beautiful weather conditions because you have air flowing in, and so you have convergence and confluence right in this zone here. So that sets up beautiful weather conditions, right? So that's why you're not seeing much in the way of lifting. But it festers off the coast here, and because it can't really move and kind of gets broken off from the main trough that lifts into the Canadian Maritimes, and it sets under this broad ridge in the polar jet stream, it just festers about and sets up an upper level low. So this upper level low is not very strong, but it's strong enough to support lifting and send moisture into the atmosphere. But a little bit of a warning sign here. You see this feature right here? This, I like showing this because the European model guidance is one of the better model guidance out there. And of course you have AI based off the European guidance. So everyone's like, oh, this is going to be great and we're going to have excellent weather forecasts because of it. Nope. This is what you call convective feedback. You just got to love chaos, right? Well, this little piece of chaos, this little convective feedback error is likely enhancing the low pressure system and the precipitation is coming in. Now, look, granted, I do agree with the idea of precipitant water values rising, maybe around 2 inches, but this should be a warning sign against any type of excessive rainfall just yet in your forecast, because this is likely an error that's going to enhance the QPF and push rainfall totals at 2, 3, 4 inches on the model guidance, when that's not going to happen. So we have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. Still, plenty of moisture. We have a little bit. Hey, there's our convective signal right there. There's our convective feedback signal. Again, another great example. When you have bullseyes like this in your forecast, model guidance is usually a sign of an error. So this is a great way, again, a learning moment of picking out some of that error, because meteorology does not always work in bullseyes. If it did, it'd be, well, even more difficult. So again, you see the idea here of increasing clouds on Monday and periods of showers. And then as we move on through next week, hey, guess what? We have that trough sitting off to our west, the Western Atlantic ridge off to our east, and we're caught in between little pesky short waves, and that is going to set up for an unsettled week for next week with a threat for pesky showers. So let's dive into this forecast for today. Absolutely beautiful, high pressure in control. Look for high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 70s over the northern interior, upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast, and mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. For tonight into tomorrow morning, clear skies, low humidity, low temperatures in the mid to upper 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s in your suburbs, and mid to upper 60s in your urban areas. By the afternoon, clear skies, high temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 80s over the interior and along the coast, mid to upper 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Could see a few lower 90s popping up around the southern suburbs of Philadelphia. On Sunday, high pressure remains in control with scattered cloud cover. Look for low temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior, lower to mid 60s along the coast. High temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 80s over the interior and along the coast, upper 80s to lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley. On Monday, there is our wave of low pressure. Now, again, this looks a bit enhanced here, but let's say we have a wave of low pressure with scattered showers and a couple of heavier downpours with the precipitant water values up to around 2 inches. So very interesting setup here, setting up here right on the immediate Jersey Shore. That could lead to a little bit heavier rainfall, but I think this is a bit overdone. So cloud cover, showers, low temperatures in the lower to mid 60s, high temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 80s on the immediate coast. Away from the coast, we have some clearing, upper 80s to lower 90s. On Tuesday, unsettled conditions, mixed sun and clouds, a few scattered showers. Again, remember last week where this was all green, where clearly not everyone got rainfall. This again is a convective feedback error. So what we see here more is just scattered showers, and that's going to be the case for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that's going to lead to low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. High temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 80s over the northern interior, lower to mid 80s along the coast, and upper 80s to lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley. On Friday, get a little bit drier conditions with scattered cloud cover, more isolated showers expected, with low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the coast, and high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 80s over the interior and along the coast, upper 80s to lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley. That is your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.